Nobody else seems to have the balls to say it, so I'll say it myself. The middle class is fucking gone. It's not disappearing, it's not struggling, it is fucking gone.
You ever felt like the middle class has just completely disappeared over the last decade? Doesn't matter how much you make, you either spend a lot back in taxes or you spend it on groceries. You just simply can't have enough money in your savings account to feel like you're actually building for something in the future, whether it's a family or a nice retirement. And it's all due to the cost of living going up. Do you think there's any way we can solve this? Are you yourself doing anything about this? Leave your thoughts about it down below in the comment section, and let's take a look at some of these videos.
Nobody else seems to have the balls to say it, so I'll say it myself. The middle class is fucking gone. It's not disappearing, it's not struggling, it is fucking gone. Because every time I go to the store, the grocery store, it gets more and more obvious. When did basic sandwich bread become $7? And don't even get me started on eggs. $6 for eggs? I used to buy a whole meal for that price. Meanwhile, somewhere out there, someone just spent 20 grand on a single bottle of wine. It's like we have two completely different worlds now. There's no middle ground. It's just people who can't afford groceries and people who don't even need to look at prices. Now, do you ever notice how more people are doing this? You see it at the checkout, the self-checkout all the time. People scan their stuff, they watch the total climb up, and then they quickly put things back. Now, tonight we got 4 bags of groceries for $85 for barely anything. And yet, while people are deciding whether to buy food or pay rent, billionaires are out there flying their private jets to lunch. It's not just that things cost more. It's that paychecks are not going up. Now, we were told, work hard, save your money, you'll be fine. But now, people with full-time jobs are lining up at food banks. People who used to be middle class are skipping meals just to make sure their kids are fed. Now, everywhere you look, you can see this happening. The gap gets wider and wider and wider.
It really does feel like we're getting into that society, like a Hunger Games society, where there's the haves and the have-nots, and you see it more and more. He's absolutely correct. I see it sometimes at the grocery store as well. There's some people who just scan in everything. They don't even blink twice. They don't even blink at all, and they just take it home and put it in their vehicle. And then there's other people who have to meticulously go through each item. It's really ridiculous, but it's something I'm even noticing a lot more in 2025. The middle class really does feel like it's disappearing. The amount of friends that I have who are around my age who don't either own a car, a condo, a house is startling. It's one of the reasons why I had to leave Toronto to go move to Calgary, because it was the only place me and my wife could afford a small townhome.
So someone just sent in their gas bill comparing this month to this time last year, and the difference in 1 year is just insane. And putting aside the fact that we do have 3 more days of usage from this year's bill, price of delivery rose from 6.708 per gigajoule to 7.467, which is around 11%. Now, storage and transport is absolutely crazy, rising from 0.239 to 1.397 per gigajoule. That's a 484% increase. And if we look at our carbon tax, that rose by 23%, which again is insanity. The amusing thing is, when it comes to the price of the actual gas, it's pretty much stayed the same. Here we have a year-over-year hold on the actual cost of gas and the basic charge. Meanwhile, our government is jacking up the prices in delivery, the carbon tax, and of course storage and transportation, which you can see now includes 2% of renewable natural gas, which reflects this greater increase in gas rates that FortisBC has been brewing for us. And while households are broke and grocery rebate disappeared, in just a couple of months on April 1st, the carbon tax will increase even further. And while we already have the threat of US tariffs to potentially weaken our economy, our government is also weakening ourselves here with taxes and fees, which due to mismanagement didn't even make a dent in our projected budget. Are you seeing the same increases on your bills? And what are some of your strategies dealing with the cost of living? Let us know in the comments.
Do you notice how it's all about bureaucracy and it's all about taxes? The gas in general hasn't really changed that much in price at all, but all of these added on fees accumulate to you paying much more at the pump. And this is one of the biggest necessities for people. A lot of people don't own electric cars. I think in Canada, it's probably like 99.5% of the people who own cars own gas cars instead of electric cars. So you're gonna be spending a lot more on this if you are someone in the middle class. If you're someone who has a family, you're gonna be spending a lot more not on just the vehicle itself, because vehicle prices have went up like crazy, but also just to fill that car to get from point A to point B, to go to the grocery store to pay even more for groceries. You got to pump up your car full of expensive gas, actually not really expensive gas, expensive taxes and fees in order to do so. And then you pay for those expensive groceries on top of that.
People doing it. in Vancouver these days? Like, I honestly want to know. Because I just went grocery shopping and then I just went furniture shopping to browse around. I'm barely making it. I don't know how everybody else is making it.
When it comes to like groceries, absolutely, I 100% agree how expensive they are. But when it comes to furniture, my God, like there's so many people who are just giving away furniture. Obviously, do your due diligence, make sure there's no bed bugs or anything like that. But furniture is something you probably could find in relatively inexpensive furniture or even free furniture. But yeah, regardless, I don't know how the heck a lot of people are doing it here in Canada. A lot of people are just sick and tired of it, and they themselves realize there is no real Canadian dream to be had anymore. Middle class is disappearing, and a lot of people's hopes and dreams are disappearing with it. And speaking about the middle class disappearing, this is a quality of life tracker, tracking things like purchasing power, safety, and healthcare, and of course the cost of living. Canada used to be way higher up on this list, somewhere around where Sweden was ranked, and now it's climbed all the way to the 29th spot, which is shocking for a country that used to be proud of where it stood in the world. And who knows, in the next few years, if things don't get better, it could land outside of even the first 50 countries.
I cannot be the only person in Canada that literally hates it here. Like, bro, what the fuck? You can't afford anything. Inflation is ridiculous. Food is fucking ridiculous. Like, unless you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs, you're not making no fucking money. We don't have no fucking real creator apps for influencing in fucking Canada. Like,
that's actually true. We don't get paid for TikTok. The United States, they actually had influencer money. If you're an influencer here in Canada, unless you're getting sponsorships for Instagram, the only place you can actually make any money at all is YouTube. And not a lot of people are creating content on YouTube.
the weather is shit half the fucking time. It's fucking still cold outside. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. The parties are shit. I actually just hate it here.
A lot of people are saying that, to be honest. A lot of people are just fed up. I've done a few videos as well about people fleeing Canada for greener pastures, for places that actually have summer that doesn't just last 3 months, and also just to go to places where they feel like they can actually raise a family. A lot of people are feeling like the middle class is done in Canada. You can't raise a family here, you can't get a good job, and that's the current state of Canada. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Middle class, has it disappeared? Let me know.